Hello and welcome to the 14th session of Java video series. In this session we will understand about the main method available inside Java. So main method is the point from where the execution of a program starts, right? Whether it's C, C++ or Java, the main method is the method from where the program execution starts. And compiler is not responsible to find out whether the main method is available inside the source code or not. It's the duty of the JVM to find out whether the main method is available or not. Apart from this, there is one more point I would like to add, which states that in version 1.7 it is mandatory. From version 1.7 it is mandatory that we must have a main method, else the source code will not run at all. But before 1.7 version we have certain tricks and tips through which we can print or execute something without the help of the main method, or without really writing down the main method. Although the JVM is gonna flag the error, no such method error main sort of thing, but still we can do something onto the screen or behind the screen in our program. So that was removed by Sun Microsystem, and main method becomes a compulsion from 1.7 version onwards. Up to 1.6 you can do it, you can write something onto the screen, right? But from 1.7 version onwards the main method is a necessity. So here's the point: whether the class contains main method or not, and whether it is properly declared or not, these techniques are not the responsibility of the compiler at runtime. JVM is responsible for this, right? So at runtime this is going to find out whether the main method is available or not. If JVM is unable to find the required main method, then we will get runtime exception saying no such method error. So this error will be flagged in version 1.6. After version 1.6 the error message has changed. You must have main method, right? Let me quickly run one code for you. So where is the code? Yeah, this is the code. This is the code which doesn't contain anything, no method, no main method, and no other things, but it's still a code, right? Now I will save it first and quickly run this. Okay, first let me show you the version which I'm using. I'm using the version number, version is 1.6, right? Version is 1.6 which I'm using. Now let me quickly run this. So it's compiled. So it's not the responsibility of the compiler, but once you run it, exception in thread main, Java lang no such method error main. So this is flagged by 1.6. So up to 1.6 version it's gonna flag the error. Now let me change the path of compilation and runtime. So jdk 1.7.0_09/bin, and now the version has changed from 6 to 7. 1.7 is now the version. Now I'm gonna again compile the program. So it's compiled, and if I run it, now the error message is way much more clear. Main method not found in class test. Please define the main method as public static void main string args. So it's giving a pretty clear message that how our main method looks like. So let's have a look at the main method. This is how the message was given. So public, so that JVM can call it from anywhere. The program has parts and we cannot access every part of the program, right? This is for security reason, and many other reasons, but security is a major reason, right? So public is why it is public, so that JVM can call it from anywhere. Main is called by JVM, right? Main is called by JVM. Next, static. Why static? Because when you use the static modifier, you do not really have to create the object before calling the method, right? So that's why static. And we will be discussing about calling methods and other things in later video sessions. But I have done a little bit about methods in part 13 of my video series. It's just the surface of the main method, although there is lot to methods. right? Main is a type of method also. Now void is a return type. So main is a method which is returning nothing to JVM, so that's why the return type is void. And in Java we must specify the return type. Even if you are not throwing anything to the JVM, you must have to write down void. Next is main, which is the name of the method. String array, it's one dimensional string array, and this is nothing but command line argument. We call these things as command line arguments. So what is command line argument? We will be discussing about command line arguments in the next video session, hopefully. But let me give you a view of what command line looks like, right? How a command line looks like. Command line argument. So let me first take the program, and I will just paste down the code which I have already written. Now this contains the main method, so this error won't be flagged anymore. And when I'm taking, this is command line argument as I have stated over there, right? And I'm taking the first one. Now see, I have okay, one second, like this. Now I have to compile the code. Code is compiled fine, right? And it's gonna run as well, but I am using arg0, so I must pass some arguments. If I'm not passing any kind of argument, then I'm gonna get some error. And it states Java lang array index out of bound description. We will discuss about this error, what exactly this error means, but for now let me show you what exactly we have to pass. From here, say if I pass down my name, which is this, right, and this, what happens is it's gonna take the first one, and by the concept of array, or with the help of concept of array, we know that 0 stands for 1 in case of arrays, and this is array. So for 1 is rs, so rs will be onto the screen, right? If I change the argument type over here from 0 to 1, and because I have changed the program, I have to recompile it. I'll recompile it and quickly run it. Where is the program? Now this time 1 becomes 2 in case of array, so Aziz will be onto the screen. So I hope this is clear. And this Haris Aziz is nothing but the command line argument. So this is a command prompt, and we pass the command line arguments from command prompt, right? So these two over here are the command line arguments. I hope I'm clear enough. Now let's move on to the next point, which states that, okay, it's a bunch of points, but I will, just what I'll do, I will zip the things into one program. I'll discuss 2-3 points over here, but zip all of these into one program. So the following changes are acceptable to main method. What are the changes that we can do with the main method? The order of modifiers is not important. We are writing down public, static, right? It's not important. It can be static and public as well. But void should come with the main, because the return type has the fixed flavor with the method. So void main should be the same, but we can really adjust the modifiers. That's why I have stated over here that it's modifiers, right? So public static can become static public. Jumping on to the second point, string array can be accepted like this as well. String array, this is the standard string array. Also in between, only difference is that the space is over here in this case and space is over here in this case, right? Now, and the third one, this is also acceptable. The third is also acceptable in this case over here, right? Next, instead of args, string args, right? Instead of args, we can use any varied Java identifier. We have discussed about identifiers in our first video session. If you are not clear about identifiers, please watch that part first. Now, instead of args, we can use any varied Java identifier. It can be args, it can be my name, it can be your name, or it can be any valid Java identifier. Now we can replace string, this S should be in capital letter, anyway, string and this string array, one dimensional string array with variable argument parameters. Again, we have discussed about variable argument parameters in our previous video session. That is part 13 in a lot of details. So how can we declare variable parameters, and what are the various cases related to variable parameters? We have discussed in that part. So these 3 dots are for variable parameters. So string, and then rather than using this 2 square brackets, we are using these 3 dots. It becomes a var parameter. So we can replace this string one-dimensional array sign and then args with this one, right? I hope I'm clear. Now main method can be declared with the following modifiers. So apart from public and static, we can use the modifiers which are final, synchronized and strict FP, right? We can use these modifiers as well. I'm not going to define what are these modifiers or what they do with the main method. We will be discussing about these modifiers in a great detail in later video sessions once again. But for now, remember that final, synchronized and strict FP are the modifiers which can be used, and also the order of modifiers is not important. You can use synchronized, strict FP, public, final, static. It's okay, perfectly okay. You can shuffle the modifiers, but not the void and main. They should come together, no one in between them. Okay, now let me quickly where is the so this is the related program, and I am going to this is it. Control A, Control V. Now see, static, final, synchronized, strict, FP, public, but void, main together. Valid main method if everything goes fine. Now save it and quickly opening the file, run the program. Oops. Oh yeah, synchronized is not correctly spelled. So synchronized, save this. Damn. Anyway, and this is working. Java test and valid main method. So I hope the whole bunch of slide is clear to you in one go. Apart from this, see, this is the three variable parameters, right? And we have used the ask, not the arg, and this is the program which we have run, right? So all these points are clear in one program. So you can do it in different steps as well, but I took all of them in one go to save time. Now there are certain cases. Case 1, overloading of main method. Overloading is the concept of object oriented programming concept, or we also say OOPS concept. Overloading. What's overloading? When we have methods with same name but different argument types. It means what they accept, what method accepts from others is different, but the name of the method is same. For example, my name is Harit and there's someone who is also Harit, but when I am called with certain passwords, right? And when he is called, he's going to be called with certain other passwords. So this is somehow related to overloading concept. It's not really a fine definition of overloading, but the main thing is that the name of the method should be same and the arguments which we are passing should be different. Then it becomes overloading concept, right? So we may have main method, we may have tens of main method, but the one which will be called by JVM is the one we have discussed. Only that method will be called by the JVM. None other than that will JVM entertain, right? So the other overloaded method we have to call explicitly, because that is not the responsibility of the JVM to call them. It's the responsibility of the programmer. Now, case 2, inheritance concept. Inheritance, we know, we inherit something from our parents and we give it to our children like this. Inheritance concept is applicable for static methods, including main method, right? Because main is a static method, it's applicable to static methods as well. Hence, while executing child class, if the child class doesn't contain main method, then the parent class main method will be executed. This is one point. Now I would like to make one more point over here is, in case of static methods only, the concept of inheritance is called as method hiding, whereas in other cases where there is no static method, the concept of inheritance is known as overriding, right? We will discuss about the method hiding and the overriding concept when we will be discussing about the OOPS concept, and we will be clearing things there by doing certain examples and running codes over there. But for now, remember this point. So these are the 2 points. Now that was just enhancements. I have already discussed one enhancement. Now let me run this one. We have 2 cases. In the first case, we have 2 types of overloading. This is the main method and public static void. This will be called by JVM. right? String array main method, and this is also the main method. See, the name of the program is same, but the arguments that are passed over there are different in both the cases. So it is the concept of overloading. Now let me copy this, and I'll simply paste it down over there, and running the program down, and oops, what's happening? I think I have, yeah, see, what's the problem? Luckily I get the error and I catch it, also I clean it. So string array main method is called only, and if you want to call the int array main method, you have to call it explicitly. You have to call this explicitly. Yes. So case 1 is discussed over there. Now the second, which is the case of the inheritance. So overloading is applicable for main method, and the inheritance also applicable for main method. It's a question which is asked frequently in interviews. So please keep that question, of course, the answer in your mind, right? Now I'll take the, maybe I have copied the code correctly. No, not yet. So yeah, this is the code. Let's copy it, paste it over there, save it. Now run it, and we have, now see, we have two classes over there. One is parent, the other one is the child class, and the name of the program is test. So to compile we have to use the test one, but to run we have to use the parent name and the child name, right? So we cannot run it by saying Java and then test. It's gonna run something else, string array main method, which was the last one. How it prints the last one, I don't understand that. If anyone of you who are watching has any idea about this, please explain to me as well. I'll really appreciate it. But let me see how to run the parent class, Java and parent. Now when we have compiled Java, see test.java. So test file, when we compiled, parent.class file was also generated and child.class file was also generated. So to run the class file, we have to use this command, and it's running, right? And child class, Java child, and again parent main, because Java child class doesn't have any kind of main method. That's why it is using the method of the parent class. So it's not flagging any kind of error which was related to version 1.7, that you cannot run the program without having the main method. See, 1.7 and still running the child program. Why? Because inheritance concept is applicable in case of main method. So that's something about the main method. Now let's talk about the enhancements related to the 1.7 version. So the enhancements, oops, I accidentally, anyway, okay, now I'll have to see parent class, child class, I have to edit it anyway. So now let's talk about the other things. So the enhancements, and this is the last slide, I think. So 1.6 version, class doesn't contain main method, then we will get runtime exception saying no. We have discussed this point and the elaborated error information over there. This ends the slide, but let me show you how we can in version 1.6 how we can run the program without really going through the main method. So this is the program which has no main method in it, right? And when I run it in version 1.7, which we are currently using, see, version 1.7, what's gonna happen? It's gonna give me the error. Oops, what's the error? Identify expected. What's the problem? What's the problem? Class. See, that is so stupid. Anyway, and let's run one more time, and it's running. Compiler has got nothing to do with the main method, remember, and see the error, right? This is the error. Where is this man? He's asking for it. The JVM is asking for it. Now let's change the, okay, path to 1.6 version like this and hit enter. So now the path is changed, and to confirm that we are indeed using version 1.6. Now we are using version 1.6. When I ran this program on version 1.7, we got the error and not the statement that I'm on screen, which is over here, right? But when you run it on version 1.6, you are gonna get the message. I hope this is the running down of the program, and see now, see over there, without main I am on screen, it's showing us down. You don't want to have this one as well, that I don't want this one as well. So what we can do is we can simply write down a very plain command. I think this is gonna work, and yeah, now see, we will not even get this error as well. So java c test of java, hit enter, and it's working. And java test, see, oops, it's getting anyway. I'm not sure about this, how it's not exiting. It should have exited without giving the error. Anyway, I will check this and then I'll get back to you on this. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and I hope this is enough for this main method. And in the next video session we will be discussing about the command line arguments. So I will also discuss the array index out of bound exception over there, hopefully, if I do not forget that. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Have a great day. Bye.